Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here on my YouTube channel. I am, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you, our international friends, gather around so we talk about our favorite things in the world, movies, movie news, TV, streaming, all sorts of good stuff. And it's Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. That means sitting beside me over here, you've seen her in many TV shows, movies, whatever. Our very own Erin Cummings is here. Erin, how are you doing?
Hello. And look, Joey Bishop has her special Pride outfit on. It's June 1st. And so to all my fellow alphabet folks out there, happy Pride Month. If you are looking for some excellent LGBTQ programming, it is out there. And since I know my mom is watching and it is the beginning of Pride Month, I'm just going to take this opportunity to go, Mom, guess what? I'm bisexual. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
I've never had that conversation with my mom, but very brave of you to do it over the internet.
Yeah.
Very brave to do it over the internet. Anyway, right beside her, of course, is Chris Carr. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm loving this little outfit of Joey's. The glasses are killing me. They're so cute.
They're
so good.
Shocking no one.
And sitting over there, joining you guys in the live chat today, it's Ray Ora.
Just real quick, John, I want to point this out. Like, there's a lot of people that have been having trouble joining as a premium member channel. I just want to point out that we have a link now in the description. And one of those people that actually had trouble was Cincinnati 5-star Barber.
Oh.
But we got that figured out. And he joined at producer level, not only once, but twice.
Twice?
Dang.
Twice. Why? Because you're lying if you deny this. So everybody on some platform or another has two accounts. For whatever reason, you have two accounts. He rushed. He didn't know he was on this other account. He signed up with that one. And now he signed up for the other one. So, you know,
Happy mistakes.
If you have any more accounts, Cincinnati 5-star Barber, go ahead and become a premium member. I want 2 plates of ice cream today.
And of course, sitting beside him, running the show today, it's producer Jonathan Boyko. Jonathan, good to have you here.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show.
And it is great to have you guys here. And here's how today's show is going to go, guys. We're going to break it down into 2 parts. In the first half of the show, we're going to talk about some predetermined topics. Then in the second half of the show, we're going to take your live comments and questions. Now, in order to get a live comment or question right on the show, number one, you got to be watching live. That's just an unfortunate prerequisite. But number 2, when we get near the end of our main topics, you're going to hear me announce that we're opening up the super chats. At that point, you're going to have just a couple of minutes. They fill up fast to get in your comment, thought, question, observation, theory, whatever it is you want to send in there. And we will read those off in the second half of the show. Also, a little bit of housekeeping. Want to remind you guys that in case you need your daily fix of the John Campea Show, but you can't be in front of a YouTube video, maybe you're on a treadmill or you're commuting, whatever, good news, there is the audio-only version of the John Campea Show that we simply call the John Campea Show podcast. And it is available on your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and sign up for it today. Also, we have a separate podcast feed for our mailbag show. Just go on your favorite podcast feed and search for Mailbag, a John Campea Show podcast bonus feed, and subscribe to it today. All right, guys. With that down, let's do an off the top here. And it's this. You guys who have watched me for any period of time know that I have a little category I like to keep track of, which is the best actor in the world who doesn't currently have an Oscar on their mantle. For a while, that person, I believe, was Gary Oldman. I think Gary Oldman for a while was that person.
Yep.
But since he won his Academy Award for playing Winston Churchill, that, I believe, now falls squarely on the shoulders of Ralph Fiennes. I think this dude, it's a mystery of the universe that he doesn't have 3 Academy Awards on his mantle already. I think he's the best actor in the world without an Oscar. Anyway, also one of the hottest stars in the world right now, like just owning everything, them and Florence Pugh, is Anya Taylor-Joy. And look at this, Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Fiennes have a movie coming out together called The Menu. And they just released the first trailer for The Menu today. And I will tell you what, I have no idea about anything. I had heard some time ago that Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Fiennes are doing a movie called The Menu, but I've never heard anything about it. And I didn't know they were ready to have a trailer come out. So I check out this trailer today, and it starts kind of like a chef kind of show. It's like, oh, okay, it's going to be about this. What's the name of the J.K. Simmons, Miles Teller, Jazz,
Whiplash?
Whiplash, thank you.
Yeah.
I immediately thought in the first 10 seconds of this trailer, I thought, oh, so this is going to be like Whiplash, but with like a hard ass chef
Yeah.
instead of a hard ass music instructor, right? And that's what it said. Oh no, No, then it takes some radically different turns into a very different kind of movie that I didn't see coming. Look, I'm not going to say I think this is the best trailer I've seen in the last couple of months, but I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you I was very intrigued by this trailer. So if the job of a trailer is to take your excitement level for that project and bump it up a couple of notches, well, considering I was sitting at 0, consider the job done. I love Ralph Fiennes. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. And this trailer truly does look odd. And I mean that in every best way that I can. Anyway, Chris, you saw the trailer for The Menu just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
What did you think about it?
I'm so mad because it looks really good and I'm going to have to sit through a horror movie. We were watching it and Aaron was like, you're going to watch it and you're going to be terrified. And I am. I'm going to watch every second of this because it sounds like maybe they're cooking people or at least hunting them or something. And I'm into it. This looks really, really messed up. For anyone who has worked in a top tier restaurant too, this is how chefs behave with that whole like clap for attention moment. You know, it is run like a regime. So I'm interested to see Ralph Fiennes in this role because I love him. Anya Taylor-Joy is just kicking ass so much. Nicholas Hoult too. He's great.
Yeah,
I
Nicholas
love
Hoult popping
him.
up in there.
I think he's wonderful, and he has such a great moment in the trailer too of just that bergamot note.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be really fun, and I'm so excited to watch this movie through my hands.
I hope it's filled with eye violence. Right
Oh,
beside
so
you, of course. Aaron, you had a chance to check out this trailer. What did you think?
I'm just going to go out on a limb here and agree with Chris and say they are hunting the people and they are the main course. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. That's what I really hope is going to happen. And also what's so exciting about this, in addition to this really exciting, just the story that I'm imagining is going to unfold, is the incredible cast that they put together. Just running down from Ralph Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy. We also have Janet McTeer for all of my fellow Ozark fans out there. She is phenomenal. Nicholas Hoult, Amy Carrero, who I called it the other day. I said that I had just seen her in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf on stage. She was brilliant. She's got a lot of great things coming out. Judith Light, John Leguizamo.
Oh, Judith Light is in it?
Judith Light is in it. Paul Edelstein, who's a brilliant character actor who you've seen in a million things. Hong Chow, who was really wonderful in The Watchmen. I mean, we've got a really great cast of actors in this. And given that they're all stuck together in what looks like is going to maybe be a fight for their lives or a hunt or some sort of thriller, I don't know what's happening, but I'm here for it. And I want to be sitting right next to Chris when we watch it together.
And I want to be behind you watching it happen.
Absolutely
I want to be there
not.
watching it all happen.
If you try what you did on Aaron and pat me on the shoulder during this movie, Campea, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
There are two sides to Chrissy Denizio. She is a lovely drunk and she is a horrifically violent person.
But you mentioned Judith Light is in this. Yeah. I feel like we went 20 years without seeing Judith Light, and then we see her pop up in Tick, Tick, Boom. And now this. So I'm very excited to hear that, as a matter of fact. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to see the trailer for The Menu? If so, what did you think? I myself am actually pretty damn intrigued. Whatever you thought, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Okay, guys. With that down, let's now move into our main topics here today, shall we? And how do we select our main topics on the John Campea Show? Well, it's really rather simple. You see, you guys come up with them. Whenever you come across a big topic, issue, or story that you guys feel we need to cover as a main topic here on the show, just go anytime 24/7 over to www.thejohncampeashow.com/contact. Once you guys get there, you're going to see a form. Fill it out with your topic or question. It's absolutely free. Hit submit, and then maybe, just maybe, you might see your submission featured as a main topic here on the John Campea Show. With that down, Chris, what is our first main topic today?
This comes from Eric Foligno. Hi, John. With May ending to the huge success of Top Gun Maverick.
No.
Nope. I have
That's yesterday's.
Oh,
Whoopsie
crap.
doodles.
That's yesterday's. Do you have?
I was going to say,
do
this
you
looks
have
familiar.
today's here?
This is
That was the one that was
the
sent
email,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one that was sent out last night.
Oh dear. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to read it off here. Hold on a second. There we go. No, it's not. Wait a second. We lost our show notes.
Oh, no.
Well, the rest of the notes are new.
The rest of them are good.
Yeah.
Oh, we just lost. You know what? It's just the email didn't get in there. All right. So my bad. The email did not make its way in. So here basically was the question. One of our viewers wrote in and asked about, would they read on their television service that Obi-Wan is now being listed as a limited series. And what does that mean for Obi-Wan? Does that indeed mean that's not going to get a season 2? Does that mean, whatever that happens to mean? Which is an interesting question, because the other day we talked about the fact that Ewan McGregor got on stage at Star Wars Celebration, and he told the audience, man, it was so great watching episode 1 and 2 with you, and I cannot wait for you to see episode 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And then he said, and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Good night, everybody. And then he walked off stage, to which everybody went, WTF? I thought Obi-Wan was supposed to be 6 episodes. Is he saying there's going to be season 2? Is he saying there's going to be surprise episodes? Or was he just joking around? And I kind of said there's some viability there for a lot of those options, but I kind of felt that he was joking around a little bit. Well, now it doesn't look like there's any season 2 on the books, because they did list it as a limited series, and Ewan McGregor himself kind of reinforced that. But a little bit more. This is what Ewan McGregor had to say when talking to Ace Showbiz. He said the following. Ewan McGregor has insisted that Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series is just a standalone limited series for the time being. Having reprised his role as Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi in the new show of the same name, the Scottish actor stressed there is no plans for future episodes or a spin-off movie at this stage. Well, at the moment, we're just doing 6 episodes. It was very much set up and made to be a limited series, the 51-year-old actor said. So that's how it stands at the moment. Listen, if it does very well and Disney are excited about the prospect of doing another one, I love doing it. I loved working with Deborah Chow. I loved working with this new technology. And that, again, is Ewan McGregor through Ace Showbiz. Okay, so I think this kind of definitively means there is not going to be a season 2. Now, I also think that this is absolutely a wide open door that they could eventually do an Obi-Wan spinoff movie, and a standalone movie at that. Here's the problem with Obi-Wan, though. There's only so much you can do with him, because we know where he ends up. Now, somehow, some way, they're going to have to get to the end of this season with, number one, Vader not getting him, and still yet having no idea where he might be. Right? So what are you going to do in another Obi-Wan season? We meet at last again and again. Like are they going to run into Vader again? I mean, so yeah, with the sticker of limited series, I really do think this is it, but I do not think it's the last we're going to see of Obi-Wan. I think he's going to be either in another series, or he's going to be they're going to do a movie with him, whatever, but I don't think, from what we're seeing, that there's going to be an Obi-Wan season 2. Anyway, Chris, you heard what Ewan McGregor said. What do you make of it?
I still feel like there's hope. I don't know. I'm still holding out for it, because it seems like maybe that's something you just say when you're around a crowd and you're really, really hyped, right? And Star Wars Celebration, right? It was standing room. People were shoulder to shoulder. They were cheering constantly. Him jumping on stage gave everyone this extra adrenaline rush for that little moment of like, yes, our Obi-Wan is here, our Star Wars Lord and Savior. I just feel like maybe we've got a little surprise coming. Maybe it's more like a Stranger Things, right? Where maybe we have something else coming that's not a continuation of the show, but maybe it's like we have a really special little standalone film, almost like a little hour-and-a-half Obi-Wan special coming.
To your point, could it be possible? Because again, Ewan got on stage and 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Good night, everybody, and walked out. Could it be possible, however unlikely, that they are going to pull a Stranger Things season 4 where we get to the end of episode 6 and it says to be continued in August, and where they do like the final 4 episodes actually a month or 2 or whatever later? I mean, is that theoretically possible?
That's, I think, why I have this in my head, because I finished Stranger Things last night and was like, okay, that's how you get around the limited series, is you give yourself that extra little time in your production, schedule and everything, a little extra time in your post-production too, to get everything looking nice and shiny. So I think we could see something else. Or it's just Ewan McGregor being cheeky and being like, give me more Star Wars. Come on, Kathleen, let's do it.
That's the one thing, like I said, I don't think they're going to do more. And I think he was joking. But again, the one thing that kind of works against my theory that he's just joking was the fact that he ended with that.
Yep.
Said, and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Good night, everybody. Like, it was just, wait, what? Anyway, Aaron, you're hearing about this. From what you've seen in Obi-Wan, the series so far, and reading Ewan McGregor's comments, do you think it's pretty definitive there's not going to be another season, or do you think that is something they're actually probably planning on doing?
Well, the one thing about Ewan McGregor is that he is a seasoned professional. I mean, this is not his first rodeo. This is not his first celebration, not his first appearance, speaking live in front of a large audience and getting hyped up. I don't think that he is someone who would be so overcome with emotion in the moment that he would say something that he didn't mean to say, or to try to do a cheeky little plug for himself to get more episodes. I mean, if this were his first big thing that he was doing, and he were a younger, more novice actor, maybe that would be something that would be happening. But I really feel like this is something that somehow there was a conversation of, hey, and if you could kind of just slide in there some indication that there might be something coming. I think that that's why that was inserted in. I think that absolutely there is going to be there's going to be an extra chunk of extra episodes.
You do think they're going to do that?
I really do. And because we've also seen, and as we've talked about on the show, that 6 episodes just doesn't work. It's just
but has Disney Plus seen that yet?
Well, that's true, but I hope that's what I'm saying is I hope that they have.
Yeah.
I hope that they have seen in Boba Fett that was just not enough, and that the audience that it was being so truncated, we skimmed past vital story points, and then it just doesn't work. And so I hope that they have realized that, and then in realizing that said, okay, well, let's not end at episode 6, but let's find a way to wrap up the story just enough to where we can extend our writing schedule, our production schedule, and then add a few more episodes. And I'm thinking, based on this fact that he said 7, 8, 9, 10, is that right? Yeah, we're going to have 4 more episodes. It makes sense for a timeline. I just hope that they do what Stranger Things is doing, and they air that next chunk within the next couple of months, and coming in 2025, because I'm not here for that. I will not watch that.
See, what I think, well, I don't think they're doing episode 6, 7, 8, 9, or 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't think they are. But if they are, and there is a chance, if they are, I don't believe they're going to be going back into production. I believe if they are, it's done.
It's already done.
Yeah, it's done,
sure.
and it's in the can, and all that kind of
it's
stuff.
not,
So,
well, Ewan said it, so let's go back.
yeah, let's make something up on the fly here quick. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? This seems like they're being pretty hardline. This is a limited series, a one-shot thing. Or do you think there could be more? Was there something to his whole 7, 8, 9, 10 thing? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. In Obi-Wan, Anakin hates sand. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere.
Yeah.
But not if you're wearing our sponsor today, the good folks at MeUndies. We want to take a second and thank the sponsors of this video, MeUndies. Guys, when you've got a job like mine where you're sitting down talking about movies or sitting down and watching a lot of movies, you learn to appreciate a really good pair of underwear. And this summer, guys, why suffer through junk swamp with that 20 pairs in a plastic bag junk that we normally buy for ourselves when you could be enjoying this summer wearing the most breathable, softest, most comfortable underwear out there, MeUndies. I've been wearing MeUndies for a little while now, and I'm telling you, I am never going back. Because let's face it, guys, summer is sweaty, but your butt doesn't have to be. With MeUndies' light and breathable micro model fabric, you can stay comfy and cool all summer long. They have super fun seasonal prints and tons of styles to choose from in any size from extra small to 4XL, so you can bring the beach to your butt without ever leaving your living room. Make it a soft summer with MeUndies. MeUndies has a great offer for my viewers and listeners. For any first-time purchasers, you get 15% off. If you sign up for their free-to-join membership, you can apply that 15% off to their already discounted membership prices. So to get 15% off your first order and 100% satisfaction guarantee, go to MeUndies.com/Campea. That's MeUndies.com/Campea. And a special thank you to MeUndies for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Remember, guys, when you support our sponsors, and you can find their links with the promo codes down below in the description, you're actually supporting our show. So a big thanks to them again. All right, with that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. Chris, what what is really the main topic here, the second one that we're doing now?
We've got this one. This is from Ojas. Thank you for the pronunciation note. I appreciate when y'all do that. Hey, John and crew. The new trailer for CW's Gotham Knights dropped yesterday, and I have to say, it looks awful. Just awful. I mean, it just looks low quality and does not interest me at all. What are your thoughts on it, and how many seasons do you think it'll last? Thanks for all you do.
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in. And yeah, listen, probably the best CW show of all time. Supernatural, of course, ended its like 15-year run a while ago. And all the cast members are doing things. Jensen Ackles, he's now Soldier Boy. Jared Padalecki's Walker now. And Misha Collins now has a gig. He's going to be playing Harvey Dent in Gotham Knights. And so when they announced Gotham Knights, it was like, okay. I mean, I really like Misha.
I love Misha.
I like him a lot. So hearing this whole idea, it's like, okay, but it's a Batman show without Batman.
Which has been doing so well.
That has not historically worked really well, but okay, you got Misha in there and whatever. So then out of nowhere, I wasn't aware they were getting ready to drop the trailer for it. Yesterday, the first trailer for Gotham Knights dropped, the upcoming CW series. And I'll tell you what, it has been a long time since I've been this excited for a new show, particularly for a new show coming out on CW, to be honest with you. Are you kidding me? This looks like shit. This looks so bad. It is hard to put into words exactly how awful this looks. And I love so many of the people in it. I'm excited for Misha playing the role. But oh my God, I've seen so many people online saying, this is basically Riverdale crossed with Batwoman. And it's like, they even got their lead kid to look like the lead kid from Riverdale. Are you kidding? Come on. I can't be the only one who saw the beginning of this trailer and didn't think for a second that maybe they just went out and got the kid from Riverdale. But whatever. Oh, it's all the children of the supervillains, whatever. And they're all about 75 pounds. And oh, the police are so scared of them. And it's like, what are you doing? Listen, I'm a big fan of the stuff the CW does with a lot of their superhero stuff. I mean, not as much today as I used to be, granted, but still, whenever they put out stuff, it's like, okay, there's even in the stuff that I don't like, there's stuff in there that it's like, okay, that's neat that they're doing that and whatever. But I've loved shows like Arrow, at least for a chunk of it I did. I've loved shows like Flash and Black Lightning and whatever. But I looked at this and it's almost like they got together in a writer's room and a producer came in and said, I bet you can't come up with a show that is just like a parody of everything that sucks about CW. Go. And then the writer said, accepted. And they jumped on it and created Gotham Knights. And listen, I'm making fun of CW. There's a lot of CW shows I like and appreciate. I do. But it's true. This trailer felt like every bad stereotype of what a CW show is crammed into one disgusting package. And I have no desire. I'm sorry, Misha, you're my boy. I love you, man, but I have no desire to watch. This is going to be one of those situations, guys, where it's going to be like Harley Quinn. Hopefully it's like Harley Quinn, where it just looked bad to me and I was no plans to watch it. It's going to take a bunch of you guys to tell me you watched it and loved it for me to give it a shot, because I see nothing of any redeeming value here. And again, I don't want to make it sound like I'm heaping hate on anybody who's involved in this. I'm just saying I looked at the trailer and I thought the trailer was awful. And, for all the people who put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, I'm sorry, my job is just to call what I see, and this looks so bad. Anyway, Aaron, you had the privilege
and the honor
of watching this, and we have not talked about this. I have no idea what you thought about. So what did you think about the trailer for Gotham Knights?
I concur with everything you said as far as every cliche trope of not even just CW shows, because I don't want to bag on CW shows. I've worked for the CW. It's a wonderful
You're
network.
In Flash. You're the CW
Flash.
DC
yes,
shows.
Absolutely. I have many friends that have worked on CW shows, and there's a reason why they last as long as they do, because they know exactly how to give the viewers what they want on most of their shows. But I do agree. It almost feels like this was sort of put into a blender, and okay, we're gonna have. And a lot of it is just the cliche writing things of, oh, did you know that your father was Batman? And the pain teen angst look and the quippy one-liners back and forth, but not that clever. And if people are wondering why this feels a little Batwoman-esque, well, it's because the three main writers, the creator of the show and two of I'm assuming the head writers, all wrote on Batwoman. So they all wrote together on Batwoman, and I believe most of them, I believe at least two of the three of them wrote on Gotham as well, which Gotham was a wonderful show for, it
was hit and miss for me.
For a while. I feel like it kind of tapered off towards the end. So, I don't know. I didn't love this trailer the first time I watched it. Then Chris watched it, and I was watching over her shoulder, and I watched it for a second time, and it didn't bother me as much. And so what I think may happen is I think that this may be one of those shows that people really want to hate, really love to hate, but also kind of can't stop watching. And if you think back, I know this is not necessarily the audience for this show, but Gossip Girl also, which was a huge CW hit, one of their biggest hits ever historically.
Is that where Blake Lively got her name?
And that is absolutely where Blake Lively got her start. And, well, not her start. I think she did Sisterhood. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants was in there somewhere. But, Gossip Girl was outright panned by every single critic. I mean, nobody liked this show. And whether it was because of the OMFG billboards of teenagers having orgasms on, as you're driving down Barham Boulevard, whether it was those billboards or if it was just the fact that something about this show resonated with people of that age, maybe this show is going to be one of those things that finds its niche and it finds its audience and it's going to have a life of its own. So I would not be, I would not be so presumptuous as to assume how many seasons it's going to last, because I think this.
Well, not without having seen a single episode.
Right, but that was one of the one that was part of the question was how long do you think, how many seasons do you think this will go? Honestly, this could be a show that comes and goes in a blink, but this could also be a show that sticks around for a very long time if it finds its audience. And having watched the trailer for a second time and not being as annoyed as I was the first time, being like, oh, that's kind of cute. I don't know. Maybe if there's nothing else on, because there's only 3 networks.
I mean, look, there's been several things, including I already mentioned Harley Quinn, that I hated the trailers for, and then I ended up loving. Those are like some of the biggest pleasant surprise, and I hope that's what Gotham Knights become.
Well, I will say
I'm
really intrigued about the girl who plays the Joker's.
The Joker's daughter.
daughter.
Yeah. She's the one that I was like, oh, you're fun. Okay, yeah, I'm intrigued.
Really?
Can we get her a better wig?
I found nothing fun about her. I was like, I'm not an advocate for violence, but can a cop accidentally shoot her right now? I mean, fictitious. It's a fictitious character. Take a breath. So, I mean, I was just like, I was annoyed
Batman's
by
kid.
all of them.
Yeah,
I was annoyed by all of them.
I like the term rat brat.
Bat rat?
Bat rat.
Yeah.
Bat rat. Bat rat brat.
Anyway, what did you think about it, Chris?
I'm not super into it, but there's potential maybe here, right? Duella Dent is a really interesting character, and it seems like they're going that Teen Titans route of her wanting to maybe make up for the sins of her father or something like that. You've got the Stephanie Brown character in there too, which I really, really enjoy her. She's a great member of the Bat fam. And it's played by Anna Lore, who has done, series regular roles on the CW. She was on Doom Patrol as Penny Farthing. So, I mean, you've got some great, great actors in the mix here too. And I know, right, the comics are different from television and film. When you have so many characters that are part of the Bat family, that are the actual children of or adopted children of, right? Bruce Wayne. Why do we make Tucker? For why is there a Tucker? What is the point of view? And I'm sure I'll find out on the show. And maybe that's our window character into this world of this version of Batman and his associates. But right now, I'm just saying to myself, okay, well, if there's not Bruce Wayne, then where is Dick Grayson? Then where is Jason Todd? Where's my Red Robin? And I understand we're getting another Robin in here, and I love that Frank Miller character too, right? I'm interested to see how that factors into a CW show. Yeah, because that run is heckin' violent. So is that going to be a turn for the CW? And as far as our, listeners a question about how long does the show going to run. I don't know. How long is the CW going to exist?
Well, I mean, they're trying to shop it off. Like Warner Brothers, they want to sell it. I think that's probably one of the big reasons why they culled so many of the shows, because I think they're trying to make it as financially stable and good looking for potential suitors to come and buy. To which some
absolutely.
people wrote into me today and say, John, with the Axis Zaslav running around, and how did this thing get made? Well, remember, this thing was greenlit long before the Discovery Group took over the show. So it's made, it's done. You got to put it out. So I don't know. Here's hoping, though, it'll be the next Harley Quinn for me, a thing that looked awful to me and I end up loving. We'll never know. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about the trailer for Gotham Knights? Was it something that looked exciting to you? Does it look like it has potential? Does it look like it's absolutely terrible and garbage? Whatever you guys think, jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys, with that down, let's move on to main topic number, what are we at here?
3.
Number 3. Chris, what is our third main topic today?
Our third topic comes from Mr. Mister. So far, I've been really enjoying the Obi-Wan series, and I think this episode was the best one yet. It introduced characters that I'm absolutely in love with. It showed us a pretty cool fight scene, and it gave us more of that Leia and Obi-Wan bond that we never knew we needed. Overall, this is my favorite episode so far, and I would love to hear what you guys thought of it. Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Mr. Mister. And of course, just to let you guys know, a little bit later today at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's Los Angeles time, you guys can figure out what that is in your own personal time zone, we will be having our new episode of our Obi-Wan open spoiler discussion, or as we call it, the Obi-Wan after show. And we'll discuss Obi-Wan episode 3 in full spoilery detail. Make sure you guys come and join us for that. But for now, we'll just kind of give you our general impressions of the third episode and what we thought kind of in a non-spoilery way. I will say this. While episode 1 for me is still the best episode, like I was floored. Like I liked episode 2, but I had some issues with episode 2. I thought episode 2 was a step down. I completely loved the first episode. I will say this, though. I feel like the third episode was an uptick. I feel like where the momentum was starting to feel like it was getting a little bit lost for me in episode 2, I feel like it picked right back up. And it was long before the guy in the black plastic helmet showed up. Like I really thought it found its uptick. Again, I love the actual drama that's playing out in this, which is one of the things I loved about the first episode. It wasn't just, it's Star Wars, let's run in with lightsabers and everything. No, it was actual, they're making it a character-driven drama, which I really appreciate about episode 1. And as we get into this episode, there's a scene where Ewan and Leia, Obi-Wan and Leia are just basically riding in the back of a truck, right? Mm-hmm. And there's just this dialogue that goes on that I was completely riveted by. I was hanging on every word in the conversation and the performance of Ewan McGregor. And look, I know there are some people out there that aren't big on the little girl playing Leia. Fine.
What's wrong with them?
Yeah,
They're
fine.
crazy.
If that's
No.
how her performance hits you, that's fine, all good. I will just tell you, for me, I can't get enough of her.
I love her.
And, yeah, and I'm watching this with Ann last night, and she goes, I just want to put her in my pocket and keep her with me all the time. It's like, she is, and by the way, if you had to sit down and your mission for the afternoon was, I need to write a child character that embodies everything of Princess Leia Organa Solo, right? They did it. Because that is definitely Leia Organa Solo. That's her. And she's adorable and charming. And the way that her almost naive optimism plays off of the brokenness and the jadedness of Obi-Wan and where he's at, I just found it to be beautiful. And I loved that part. It was great. We moved into the second part where we get, there's a lot of people who I want some lightsaber action. That shows up. And, we get a little bit more action. We get some of the cast that we knew was coming into the series because we've talked about it for a long time. Some of them finally show up and we get to see them. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think it was a perfect, and I'll tell you the other thing too. My biggest criticism of Obi-Wan episodes 1 and 2 was the performance of Moses Ingram as third sister. Again, I really like her in this Tragedy of Macbeth. I really like her in the Queen's Gambit. I think it partly annoys me because I know she's capable of better, and I did not like what she brought in episodes 1 and 2. Just too one note for me. I found episode 3, there's a little bit more of a subtlety to it. There was definitely, it's almost like she and Deborah Chow, the director, decided to rein the character in just a little bit. And by doing that, I thought she stood out even better. I'm not going to say she's not my favorite character in the show, not by a long shot, but I found a massive improvement in that character in episode 3 over the previous ones. So overall for me, I still don't think it's the best episode yet, but I quite enjoyed it. And overall, now that we're halfway through the show already. We're halfway through. If we don't believe Ewan McGregor about 7, 8, 9, 10, we're halfway through. But I'll tell you what, so far for me, this show is working pretty well. I wouldn't put it on Mandalorian season 1 level yet, but I'm having a good time with it. Anyway, Chris, you had a chance to watch Obi-Wan episode 3. What were your general thoughts on it?
Oh, I love Leia Organa so much. And if you don't, that's fine. Your opinion's just wrong.
It's just wrong.
She's so charming. And there are so many beautiful acting beats that little girl is delivering too. Because to give a child actor that kind of dialogue as well is a real gamble, right? You're supposed to not work with children or animals unless apparently it's that little girl or Joey Bishop.
True.
Like those are the ones you want to work with. She is doing excellent stuff. This episode surprised me a lot of ways too, because I've said it on here, prequels a lot of time. I go, okay, well, I know how everyone ends up, so I don't really care. And they're still taking risks. They're still doing a lot of stuff here that made me go, oh my gosh. So there's a lot of fun stuff happening in this episode. And I agree. Moses, I think, has a lot more to do in this episode, right? She gets those juicy little actor moments. And I think for me, in those first 2 episodes, it's a lot of the writing of her character is just, as the third sister, she is trying to show dominance. She is trying to be very, very strong and stoic and rigid among these other people, right? Among these other inquisitors. And in this episode, we get to see some nuance. We get to see these wonderful, wonderful beats where she's just reacting to things. And that's what good acting is, right? It's listening and reacting and seeing something and having it touch that character in a way that we can see it written across her face. And that's where her excellence as an actor really, really shines. So I'm excited for more of that, and I hope we get more of that.
Aaron, what did you think about the 3rd episode?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't love it. I agree that it was an uptick from episode 2. The scenes between Ewan McGregor and Vivian Lyra Blair are so beautiful. And you know what? You're right. Not every performance is for every viewer. But unfortunately, if you're not a fan of hers, you're going to be SOL for a while.
Yeah, you're just not there. There's nothing here for you.
She's not only clearly dominating this show and holding her own with Ewan McGregor in all of their scenes, which is pretty challenging. But also, she's got 3 movies coming out and that she's starring in that included The Boogeyman, which has an incredible stellar cast and looks like it's going to be a really cool movie that you will probably not see.
Nope.
But yeah, I for her to be able to embody all these different nuances and levels, and also still to be able to, I don't know if she went back and she watched I'm assuming she watched the original Star Wars. She must have, because there is such a nuance of Carrie Fisher's Leia, that defiance, that, just a little bit of that sass, that attitude. She brings that, and to be able to have that, there's a childlike quality to it, but there's also you see the woman she will become. You see how she will become the Princess Leia that we saw in Carrie Fisher's portrayal. And I thought that was just beautifully done. Their scenes between the 2 of them are magnificent. And that's where I really enjoyed season 3, where I didn't enjoy season 3.
Episode 3.
Thank you. Episode 3. And I won't go too much into it, but was the fight scene, that whole part of it, and I won't say anything else, but that whole part of it seemed very anticlimactic. I was just like, oh, really? Oh, I thought we were going to make a bigger meal out of this moment. This is kind of a big deal.
To your meal analogy, I think that was the appetizer.
The amuse-bouche.
I guess so, but just the first moment of oh my God, that moment of, oh, hey, that I kind of felt should have been, instead it was just oh, there you are. Okay, cool. And so that's what I was just like, come on, like give me a little bit more drama. This is a moment that I want the reality to be heightened. I want it to be out of control. And I just didn't feel that so much. So to Reva's performance, I agree. One of the things that I was looking for that I spoke to last week was the duality of when someone is, quote, a hero, what is the thing that's driving their hero's journey? And when someone is a villain, what is the pain or the insecurity underneath that? And in this episode, I saw that insecurity. I saw the crack in the veneer of, I really want to be the next in line. I really want to be more powerful, but there's other things working against me and I have to play politics, and maybe also her being a woman in this world. I don't know how that affects it, if that's a thing in this world, but she definitely is fighting for something more, but I see her insecurity cracking through, and that is exciting to me.
Ray, did you get a chance? I know you couldn't come over last night, but did you get a chance to watch episode 3 of Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I did.
What do you think?
Well, okay.
Without giving anything away.
Yeah. The little girl, she won me over. I mean, she's great. Like I was kind of annoyed because I thought she was taking too much of the show from
Ewan McGregor.
Oh, Ewan McGregor. She that ride scene was great to me. So and Reva. She did a lot better. Like she came off as a lot better to me in this episode.
And she was a more watchable character this time.
Just because the way she, like I get her purpose, like what she's trying to do now. So like me, it was never really her acting. It's just like I just didn't know her purpose. So yeah. So the show it's good to me. I can't wait to see the next one. But the thing between the two people is it was a letdown a little bit.
Oh, gee, I loved it. But we'll talk about that in more detail. Remember, guys, today, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, me, Robert My Burnett, we're going to be doing our open spoiler discussion or after show of Obi-Wan Episode 3. Make sure you guys come and join us for that. But for now, what did you guys think? Did you have a chance to watch Episode 3 yet? If so, what did you think? Was it the best of the 3, the worst of the 3, somewhere in the middle? How did you feel about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, we're going to take another break here and thank another one of the sponsors of today's episodes, our friends over at Masterclass. Guys, we want to take just a minute and thank the sponsor of this video, Masterclass. Masterclass is offering classes on a wide variety of topics, like all taught by world-class masters at the absolute tops of their field. Each class is broken down out into individual video lessons, usually like around 10 minutes or so long, and members can explore at their own pace. And each class is supported by downloadable materials, lessons, recipes, or more that you can all find at masterclass.com. For example, are you into streaming? Well, you can take the Building Your Streaming class taught by ninjas so you can sharpen up on your streaming skills. Or if you're interested in independent filmmaking, take independent filmmaking from Academy Award winner Spike Lee. You want to get classes on how to direct? How about from Ron Howard? The very first one I personally looked up and got into was Business Leadership by the great Big Papa Iger, Bob Iger himself. And I was absolutely enthralled with it. I love every single minute of this stuff. If any of those apply to you, you need to try Masterclass. So I highly recommend that you check it out. Get unlimited access to every Masterclass. And as a John Campea Show viewer, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea. Once again, to get 15% off your annual membership, go to masterclass.com/Campea. And a big thank you to Masterclass for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys. With that down, let's move into our fourth and final main topic today. Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This comes from Matt Finch. So, hey, John and crew. So, Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1 put up some truly impressive stats this weekend. According to Netflix, Stranger Things racked up 286.79 million hours of viewing time worldwide from May 25th to the 27th. This blows past the previous record holder, Bridgerton, which had 193 million hours of watch time in its second season opening weekend. Additionally, Kate Bush's 1985 song Running Up That Hill, which is featured this season, has hit #1 on Apple's iTunes and #2 on Spotify's US chart since the premiere.
All right. Thanks for sending that in, Matt. And yeah, Stranger Things season 4. I said maybe about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, I said, like, I don't know if it was the layoff and how much time has passed between season 3 and now or what it is, but I am not sensing the hype or the buzz for going into Stranger Things season 4 that we felt going into season 2 and felt going into season 3. It just wasn't. And it wasn't there. It just wasn't as much. But that apparently didn't matter, because when Stranger Things season 4, at least the first 7 episodes, dropped, everybody, and I mean everybody, apparently dropped everything they were doing and wanted to go see what 11 was going to be doing to people around there. And by the way, I'm sure a part of that helped was the first 8 minutes that they released the other week, because those first 8 minutes they dropped. I mean, I'm not the world's biggest Stranger Things fan, but I saw those 8 minutes. I'm like, mark that on my calendar. I need to get in there and watch a bit of that. Now, I am behind the curve a bit. I've so far only watched 2 episodes. So me and Ann sat down the other night to watch the first 2 episodes. It's like they're over an hour and 20 minutes each. I mean, I've been a little bit busy. Are you actually ahead of the curve here?
What? Have you seen the whole thing?
I've seen the whole thing.
God. Yeah. I'm apoplectic. I am for the first time in my life, and especially on this show, at a loss for words.
That you saw something that I haven't seen yet.
Well, yes, that, but also that I literally wish that I could do a vice versa trading places body switch with you and experience the whole thing for just talk.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Well, I guess we know what Aaron thought about the show, but I sat down, but unfortunately, the first 2 episodes are so good that has become one of the shows that I am not allowed to watch without Ann, which means it's probably going to take me a bit to get through all 7. But having watched the first 2 episodes and being a Dungeons and Dragons player, I really like. I actually got on Twitter the other day and I said, so far, I think just the first 2 episodes of this is the best this show's ever been.
1000%.
I think this is the best this show's ever been. And damn, right near the end of episode 1 or 2, I can't remember which one it was, there's a dice roll happening. How do you make one of the most tense, stressful moments on screen of a little girl rolling a 20-sided dice? And yet they found a way to juxtapose that against the basketball shot and all that kind of stuff. And it was brilliant, like just brilliant filmmaking in this show. And the first 2 episodes are great. I'm hooked. I keep having people tell me, John, wait till episode 4. And I don't even know what happens in episode 4. And I'm blissfully ignorant of that right now. But anyway, it looks great. The numbers are huge too. This comes to us from the folks over at The Hollywood Reporter who wrote the following. According to Netflix's internal measurement, Stranger Things racked up 286.79 million hours of viewing time worldwide from May 25th to May 27th. That blows past the previous record holder, season 2 of Bridgerton, which had 193 million hours of watch time over its opening weekend in March. Bridgerton went on to claim the title of Netflix's most watched English language series of all time over its first 28 days of release, with 656.26 million hours of viewing across the globe. Stranger Things season 4 is already almost 44% of the way to that tally after just 3 days. Now, I'm sure a part of that has to do with the fact that the first 7 hours are 94 hours long. So I'm sure that had something to do with the more hours watched thing, but whatever. Hey, listen, I may have felt a few weeks ago that I'm not hearing people talk about it. And we weren't, but people were ready and they went and they watched it. And I'm sure the fact that Obi-Wan, which set opening weekend records for Disney Plus, and Netflix probably just made it the weekend to sit in and watch television for yourself, because everybody watches stuff. And I think it's off to a really good start. Anyway, Chris, you're seeing these numbers. Are you surprised? And what are you feeling about season 4 so far?
I'm not surprised, actually. I know we went into this going, do people still care about it? After I watched it, yeah, they heckin' do and should. It's so good. This season blows the other seasons out of the water. And it has our greatest fears in it. It has spiders and eye violence. And I still am watching it. I look away sometimes, though, because sometimes I can't handle it. But I think it's a wonderful, wonderful season. You know, the thing about that first episode, too, with the dice roll, if you've played a really great campaign, right, it has that excitement to it, and juxtaposing it with sports for those people who don't play D&D, or for me, for somebody who's not into sports.
Or for me, who does both.
Yeah, right? You can understand the excitement of both, and it's done so well. The editing in that episode is incredible. I think everything here is wonderfully, wonderfully executed. And I'll tell you what, too, I think doing this second part thing solves the Netflix problem of, well, we all watched it and now we don't talk about it anymore. Because now I've got a couple extra weeks. I'm going to keep talking about this show and what I think is going to happen and keep speculating about some other things for the duration of what a show's airing time probably would be. So I think this is a really smart model for Netflix to be trying out on kind of their crown jewel piece, right? Seeing if this little bit of wait time, just releasing those last 2 finale episodes, if that makes this stronger in the zeitgeist and makes people maybe subscribe more or longer, not cancel their subscriptions, and get people talking about the show for longer and longer.
Yeah, because there's that need that, what is it called again with FOMO? Yeah, the FOMO starts to build like, well, I guess I got to get caught up before the final 2 episodes.
Exactly.
See, to me, it's Netflix taking baby steps towards what is ultimately and inevitably going to be them dropping weekly at a time.
Yeah.
But you're right. It does give them a little bit of taste. And they've been doing that with more of their series. They did it with Lucifer. They did it with another show as well.
Love is Blind.
They did it with Love is Blind. They're doing it here. So, I mean, I think people are going to keep talking about it because they're going to tell friends, listen, you got to get caught up before the last things happen. Anyway, Erin, apparently you've seen Stranger Things season 4. So are you surprised to hear these numbers and what do you think?
Well, okay. So you guys know that I am a massive Stranger Things fan. For you guys out there, I force my husband every year to do a holiday card, but because I think most holiday cards are lame, I choose a streaming show that I feel like makes sense for that year. So for example, our 2020 holiday card was Schitt's Creek. Our 2016 holiday card was Stranger Things. And that was the first card the year that we got married. And the headline was 2016 was a strange year. For us in many ways. And as you can see, I'm wearing a shirt that even though this is from it has, you will understand if you've seen the show, I'm wearing my acid wash jeans from the 80s. I mean, I am like so pumped and ready. I would have worn a banana clip if I had one, but I gave it away. I love this show so much. And there's so many things to talk about. Yes, the way that these scenes are juxtaposed within and move back and forth between one another, there's so many storylines that are happening, especially as you continue on into episodes 3 and 4, which yes, episode 4 is, but the way that they are able to tell so many different storylines without it getting convoluted, without people going, wait, what happened? Wait, where are we? Wait, why are they there? I don't understand. I mean, it just flows seamlessly, especially in these, as you said, very long, extended episodes. We're also seeing, and I won't spoil anything here, but we see so many characters come back that we just go, oh my God, that's so-and-so. And there's some cameos by people that we didn't think we were ever going to see again. There's also, I'm going to butcher his name, Tom Walishisha. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's the guy, the man without a face in Game of Thrones. He is in this season and he has a huge role in which he is playing opposite David Harbour, which essentially all of their scenes are two-handers. That's actor speak for 2 people in a scene. And David Harbour is, in my opinion, a flawless performer. I don't know what he's like as a person, but he is a flawless performer, both on stage and screen, in straight shows and in shows that are more fantasy based. And so for this actor, Tom Walishisha, well, I don't know how to, I'm sorry, but you're brilliant. I love you. For him to be able to hold his own, I think this is we're going to see a lot more of the man without a face. Mm-hmm. I think that the actor who plays Steve is bona fide going into the MCU.
Joe Carey.
Okay.
That's who I want to be Human Torch.
He's going to be an action guy. I'm telling you.
I love him.
The love stories, not just between the kid, like.
Well, now let me just pause you.
Yeah.
We're not doing a full review.
Okay, all right.
We're here to talk more about the numbers.
One of the things that really resonated with me so much about this show is that they are dealing with some deep stuff on here. They're dealing with childhood trauma. They're dealing with bullying. They're dealing with being accepted, whether that's in high school or as adults. They're dealing with real stuff that kids are going through, that adults are dealing with, but they're putting it in this element of fantasy and sci-fi that's really exciting. The directing is beautiful. And I'm sure that Kate Bush is sitting at home right now going, what just happened? Because everyone on the planet right now, I mean, I was listening to that song this morning in the shower.
Well, and she had that great resurgence in like 2018 when there was a remix of this song. And that's how I first heard about it. So when it was on the show, I was like, what? No, this isn't from the 80s. And then I was like, oh, it's from the 80s. I feel dumb.
The music director for the show is phenomenal. And I'm just really excited that we do have another big chunk. And I'm so thrilled that so many questions are being answered.
Yeah.
Even questions that we had from the very first episode, those first 8 minutes, those questions get answered too. And there's still more to come. So I'm thrilled.
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What do you think about this? Stranger Things season 4 so far has not just beat, but absolutely destroyed their opening numbers for viewership and watch times. Remember, we're not talking about those little stupid numbers they used to do about even if you watched for 2 seconds, it counted as a view. We're talking about viewing hours. People are tuning in. What do you think about that? Have you been watching the show? Are you enjoying it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down into the comment section below and leave those thoughts there. Okay, guys, with that down, we're now going to open our super chats up. So if you have a thought, comment, observation, question, theory, whatever that you'd like us to read on the show, go ahead and start firing in those now, and we will read those off in the second half. But before we get to those questions, we're just going to take a second and thank another sponsor of today's video, our friends at Stamps.com. We want to take a moment and thank the sponsor of today's video, Stamps.com. Now, guys, as a small business owner myself, I am always looking for ways to save costs, yes, but I know that our most valuable resource is time, and I'm always looking for things that can save us time. Stamps.com saves you both. Because when you're running a small business, every second counts. You can't afford to waste a single moment. So why are you still taking time out of your day to go to the post office when you could be using Stamps.com instead? Stamps.com makes mailing and shipping quick, easy, and cost-effective. How cost-effective? Well, you can get discounts that you can't find anywhere else, like up to 30% off USPS rates and 86% off UPS. And there's no special hardware technology you need. All you need is your regular computer and printer, no special supplies or equipment required. So guys, stop wasting time and start saving money when you use Stamps.com to mail and ship. Sign up with the promo code CAMPEA for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts needed. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code CAMPEA. And a big thank you to the folks at Stamps.com for sponsoring this episode of the John Campea Show. Remember, once again, guys, find the links to all of our sponsors with their promo codes down at the top of the description of this video, and make sure you support them, because when you support our sponsors, you're supporting us as well. Okay, guys, we're now going to move into the live questions that you guys have been sending in, but we got a couple from some of our channel members. Ray, what do we got there?
We got one from Tim Platt. He says, I know they released it all at once, but I'm going to watch it weekly so I can go straight into the next part of the season without a long wait. 24 hours later. Yeah, that plan was a bust.
I was going to say, it's like, well, that sounds good in theory, but the problem is you get to the end of one and you're like, nah, I got to see what happens next. He's going to hit the next button. But that sounds great. Hey, the best laid plans of mice and men, my friend.
And then we got one from Glenn Mark. He says, sending love your way, y'all. So I saw a Netflix trailer for Man vs. Bee the other night starring Rowan Atkinson. I laughed throughout the entire trailer. Looks hilarious. Atkinson is no Mr. Has-Been.
Yeah, here's the problem, though, with Mr. B. Or Man versus Bee or Bee versus whatever the hell it's called. The trailer is cute. It really is. But when I realized that this is a series, I'm like...
And not a short film?
And not like a 15-minute short... I'm like...
Yeah.
The novelty of this thing is going to get... I mean, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say definitively. My fear is the novelty of this scenario is going to get real tired real fast, like in a short, boom, half hour, maybe even 90-minute comedy movie. But as a series, I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that, but we'll see.
And then I got one more from Mr. 47. He says, it's trippy watching Maya Hawke because she looks and acts so much like her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Now I need a Pulp Fiction 2 and Kill Bill 3.
It's
LOL.
funny because as we were watching Netflix, I said, she's somebody's famous's daughter, and I can't remember who it was. And that's
She is actually, it's like those machines that you used to go into at like those places where you play video games, the arcade rooms, and you and your best friend take a picture, and then they go, "This is what your baby would look like."
Yeah.
She is exactly Ethan Hawke and Uma Thurman because they had a baby together, and that's what it looks like.
All right, with that, let's get over to the super chats you guys have been sending in. So, Chris, what do we got?
We are starting out with a bunch of support from Cole, from Kyle Brenner, from Kevin Cal.
Thank you, all you guys, Cole and Kyle and Kevin. Thank you, guys.
From David Deere. What are your guys' favorite movies that are about the movie industry itself? Thanks for putting out a great show every time. Love you guys. Have a great day.
Great movies about the movie industry itself. Well, the Player is great.
The Artist.
I'd be remiss if I
yeah.
didn't give myself a little shout out and say The Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Well, the Disaster Artist is a good
The
one.
Disaster Artist actually, because I remember when that movie, The Room, was playing at the Lemley Sunset 5 on Sunset and Laurel Canyon. And I remember I just moved to LA and I'm driving around with my Thomas guide in my lap like he does in The Disaster Artist and looking up and seeing this billboard. And I was like, if that ugly fuck can get on a billboard, maybe there's a chance for me too.
I will say a couple things. One, it's not a movie, so it almost doesn't count, but The Offer has become one of my favorite pieces of drama about the filmmaking business. The Offer has been fantastic. On a comedy note, Bowfinger. Steve Martin,
yeah.
Eddie Murphy's Bowfinger. Now, obviously, it's not a very realistic look at the industry, but that movie is awesome.
Oh, Soap Dish.
Soap
Oh,
Dish is
Soap Dish,
great.
yeah.
Soap Dish, if you haven't seen Soap Dish, do yourself a favor. Kevin Kline in his prime is brilliant, and it's a really funny take on the world of soap.
Again,
just
not movies, but
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, soap opera. Yeah, but it was very funny.
All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher. I'm sorry, but you have 4 Bat Sons to choose from, Richard, Jason, Tim, or Damien, and you create your own? You're fucking up, bud. Must be nice.
Yeah, like when I heard like Son of the Batman, I'm like, okay, so Damien, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be Damian Wayne, which would have been infinitely more interesting than
Yeah.
whatever that was that I saw on screen. It's like, yeah, I'm just, it's like, I'm pretty sure the son of Bruce Wayne would not be like that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bruce Wayne would not raise.
He's not
his
going to keep
child.
his Playboy persona for his child.
No, and I'm sorry, but if you're living with Bruce Wayne, there's no way you don't know he's Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, never mind. Never
And
mind.
he's also he's a prick.
Yeah, he seems like a little prick. Anyway, whatever. Again, it's just the trailer. I might end up thinking it's the best show ever made, but we'll see. All right, what's next?
From Andy, 1 of 3. I got cut off yesterday, but I meant to say John is right. Having a good time at a strip club or a movie theater makes you more likely to go.
I remember. Yes.
Go
the
back.
bathroom?
I went to both last weekend, and I'm coming back this week. I'm mainly going back to the club because a friend wants to go, and he's often somehow able to consistently bring strippers home with him. So I must be his Padawan and learn his ways. Tell Rob not to worry. As always, I tip my strippers.
Information there.
Well, okay. Well, I'm sure his mom's proud.
And I'm sure his friend is thrilled that he's airing all,
the dirty laundry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But no, the main point of that whole thing before was that
There's a point.
with Top Gun, the numbers came out that 55% of the people who went to go see Top Gun in its record-shattering opening weekend was over 40, which is the demographic that they have not been coming back to the movie theaters yet. And now they are. And one of the things that I said was that, it's when you go to a movie and have a great time, you are far more likely to come back to the movies again.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, kind of like going to a strip club. But apparently some people really took that to heart. Anyway, thanks for sharing, Andy. All right, what's next?
From Sol Carlos, Rob Marshall underwater scene in Mary Poppins Returns was so disappointing. I'm worried since he is directing The Little Mermaid. Hope the new water scenes look better.
I don't always put how does a water scene look? I mean, there's a lot to do with that. Remember, the director's not sitting down doing all of it themselves and stuff like that. Yeah, they're the ultimate ones who have to give the okay to every single scene. But They went for a concept. Like, that's the thing with art. You go for a concept, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't put too much into it. I just know that I was overall kind of disappointed with the new Mary Poppins movie because I was real damn excited for that. You had Emily Blunt in there. You had Lin-Manuel Miranda, and it just kind of farted. Like, it just kind of went and just kind of, it wasn't terrible.
No,
it was just,
it was a movie.
It was a movie. Yeah.
It was fine.
And I was really hoping for something incredible, but it is what it is. All right, what's next?
From Jacob, Anya Taylor-Joy looks too much like my toxic ex-girlfriend. Hard for me to watch her projects.
But
I mean, Jacob, you dated a hottie, so good for you.
Yeah, but
Get it.
I know what that's like because I worked for a guy who looked like Larry David, and he was toxic and abusive and just he was just a garbage human being. And so,
sorry.
Oh, this is awkward. Anyway, Chris, I
You
worked
dated
for
a guy that looked like Larry David?
Oh, sorry, did I say dated?
yeah.
No, I worked for a guy.
Oh, worked for a guy.
Sorry. No. I have dated guys who look the equivalent of Larry David. You know, for me, it's about the brains. It's not about the looks. But, I worked for someone. I was the personal assistant for a really toxic human being who worked in the entertainment industry, and he acted a lot like Larry David. So it has taken me over a decade, more than a decade, to be able to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm because before I was like, too much, too close. So I get what you're saying.
You guys know this because of Vegas. Jacob, I'll raise you one. When you date actors, you see them on television. Yeah. You see them on television a lot. And sometimes you go on your honeymoon and it's raining outside, so you put on the TV and your ex-boyfriend, his commercial plays every 15 minutes. And your new husband goes, what the fuck? Why is Ben always on TV?
We were at the
Wow, we
dentist.
even got a name drop.
We were at the dentist one
Ben.
time, and the model that I used to date was on the brochure. And Tom and I were at the dentist together, and I just looked over and I go, it's awkward. Yeah, not fun to date in Los Angeles. They're everywhere.
All right, what's next?
From Elizabeth Horado. Chris and Aaron, who'd you piss off at Netflix? Stranger Things went full on with your fears.
Oh, yeah.
No spoilers, but a lot of eye stuff and spiders. Mine was the body stuff. Yeah, I don't know why the body stuff is like creepy, but it's the eyes. The eyes are what get me when stuff
The body
happens to
stuff's
them.
creepy, but it's also wicked cool.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really cool. But
Yeah, the stuff with the eight-legged freaks, I'm really happy that Tom watches ahead of me because now he just goes, eyes, and I just go like that, and he goes, close them, keep them closed, keep them closed. Okay, you're good.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
Logan does for the eye stuff for me too.
All right, what's next?
From King Tannic, sending in a $20 super
Thank you, King
chat.
Tantic.
Thank you.
I remember at the 2021 CinemaCon, Aaron and John arguing over Ben Platt and Dear Evan Hansen. Aaron was defending him to the death. Aaron, now that the movie has come out, how did you feel about Ben's performance despite his age?
I thought he was brilliant. I thought he should have gotten an Oscar. It's been my favorite performance of the last decade. I never saw it. I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say, I know for a fact you have not seen the movie, so
But I will still defend his performance just to make John wrong. Just to make John wrong.
He is good
half
in
the
it.
Academy voters don't see the things they vote on, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's
but
very
you know
true.
he did wait. But to be fair, he did get nominated for Best Actor at the AARP Annual
Oh my
Movie Awards, and I thought, well, come on, let's give it
good
up
job,
for
Ben.
Ben. Come
And
on.
the Boy Scouts of America. So he's
Yeah.
on, he's got the duality.
He does,
All right.
he does do the best he can in this. It's just that character when you go, that's a 30-year-old man, right? Doing the things
It's
he
Leia
does.
talking to Obi-Wan, Grandpa, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
It
Well, so
feels
is
like
half
that.
the cast of Stranger Things. I mean,
true.
come on.
The whole time watching that, I was like, that person's 30, that person's 30. Calling my manager right now. Why am I not on this show?
Why am I not in high school? I could be a high
I
school
can be a high
bully.
schooler.
all right, what's next?
From Luis Enrique de la Pena. Happy No Pants Wednesday. Aaron, I saw Top Gun Maverick last week and I loved it. I almost wept in a couple of moments. The trailer for Gotham Knights looks like the show Gotham and Riverdale had a baby. It looks awful.
They went to the arcade and they played that game.
They got the mashup.
I was call back. Never mind.
By the way, have you? Oh my God, I was about to ask you. Have you seen Top Gun Maverick yet? Obviously, you did. I was sitting right with you. Have you and Tom seen Top Gun Maverick yet?
Tom has not seen it. I know. It was a busy weekend. We're trying to carve out some time, but yeah, obviously I have seen it, and I feel like he has lived vicariously through me, and he has asked me every spoiler question. He doesn't like to not know things. I mean, he even guessed who the villain was in Stranger Things. Like on episode 2, he was like, I bet it's so-and-so. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense at all. By the way, do not go to IMDb because it is spoilers up and down.
Yeah.
Do not go to IMDb for Stranger Things. So yeah, Tom's just one of those people that likes to know things. So he asked me all the questions. I told him, and then I went, zero, zero, and he got the idea.
All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher. Everyone and their mums have watched Stranger Things and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like who? Farmers. Who else? Farmers' moms.
Farmer's Mom.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a good callback.
that's a pretty good one.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
The thing is, it is crazy and great to see that, because going into everybody's like, oh, it's Obi-Wan versus Netflix, but that's the great thing about it not being 1980 anymore when 2 shows are on at the same time. You just got to pick one. Everybody got watched. Everybody went and watched both of them. It's always great to see when that happens. All right, what's next?
From Irene Jobson. Throwback. V the miniseries. Do you know about this? Robert Englund?
Oh, it was, I was a kid, but when that series came out, I still remember how freaked I was. And I had nightmares for a long time when they first took off their faces and they were the lizard people. And the first time I saw them eating the rat, when somebody walked in and saw one of them eating the rat, I'm like,
memory of that.
Well, F this. And yeah, Robert Englund was one of the, the nerdy alien and stuff like that. It was our big introduction to Michael Ironside. Wasn't Beastmaster in that? The guy who was Beastmaster in the movies, wasn't
think so. But there was a miniseries, and then there was actually, they made it a series.
Yeah, then they made the
too.
full series, but it was still with the regular characters. And then they went back and did another V like 5 years ago.
Yeah, with
Morena
Morena
Baccarin.
Mm-hmm.
But the original miniseries, always remember it. All right.
Well, and you remember, just real quick, like when the alien ship, they were coming out, they made like a welcome party for it, and they were playing the Star Wars theme in the show, in the series.
That's right. Totally forgot about that. All right, what's next?
I'm getting such great eye contact from Joey Bishop. This
Joey
is wonderful.
is giving you the face.
I love this so much. Hi. From Ryder. Loved Natalie Holt's score for Loki, but feels a little generic to me in Obi-Wan so far. Didn't hear the Imperial March unless I missed it.
There was a version of it. It was like Imperial Walk.
The Imperial
Yeah, it was
Scroll.
The light jog.
Yeah, that's not the Imperial March.
That's the marriage. Well,
No, that's the
That's
funeral.
funereal.
Yeah, that's the.
Oh, yeah, funeral.
But you were close. The
Dun,
first few
dun,
notes were
dun,
right.
dun, dun.
But
Oh yeah.
here's the thing for me about score. Sometimes I want a score that's just going to bleed into the background. Like sometimes the best scores are the scores that are affecting your emotional response to a scene, but you don't even notice it. Like sometimes you got John Williams scores, right? That are just da 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 da, like that sticks in your head forever. But sometimes the really good scores are the ones that just kind of inhabit the scene. So I haven't really noticed, to be honest with you, but I'll try to keep my ears open for that. All right, what's next?
From Soul Carlos. Why make a Bambi live action when you could make a Treasure Planet or Atlantis live action? Those make way more sense to me. I agree.
I disagree. There's going to be far more interested in a Bambi. There would be infinitely more interest in a Bambi. You put a live action Bambi movie and then a live action Treasure Planet movie. I guarantee you the Bambi movie will make double the box office. Double, minimum. Like no doubt.
Well,
I have
what
so
about
much
what I
venison in
want?
my freezer right now. My whole life is a Bambi movie.
I mean, yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, I'll eat that little sucker after the movie's done, but damn, it'll be cute before we do it.
We
Goodness
have
gracious.
venison hamburger meat. We have venison sausage. We have it all.
I am excited for a new generation to know about the term Twitter-pated, though, because it's the best word ever.
All right, what's next?
From Chef Rico. Yay! See you guys soon. You won't see me, Chef, but I love you.
Yeah, Chris is ditching
love
on us, but she can't make it today. But
I
the
will
rest of
eat.
us
I
be
will
there.
eat for 2.
Yeah.
We will all be there. All right, what's next?
From Andy. My headcanon is that Gotham Knights is a continuation of Riverdale, and those kids moved out of their crazy town into a probably just as crazy city.
Come on, guys, help me out here. I was not the only one that for a second thought, isn't that the same kid from Riverdale? They gave him the same hairstyle, the same kind of stupid, dumb look on his face. I mean, I'm not saying that the actor has dumb look. I'm just saying they made him portray dumb look, right? Stupid face. And I don't know. I find it so irritating. I hope the show's awesome. I really do. I just really couldn't stand that trailer. All right, what's next?
From Zashawn. Not a fan of the total number of hours metric, but it's something unlike Disney. Really wish they would release Obi-Wan numbers so we can compare.
I mean, look, here's the reality. Until there's some kind of legislation put in place streamers are never going to let you know their real numbers. Because then they can spin, twist them in whatever way they want to try to put a positive spin on things like this. But I will say this about the total hours watched. I do kind of like that metric simply because it doesn't just tell you who clicked on it, because somebody might just click away 10 minutes later and say, well, this is dog shit. I kind of like the idea, because if people watch 200 and whatever the number was, 286 million hours viewed, that means people are turning it on and they ain't turning it off. They're sitting through those long ass, gorgeous episodes and watching it all the way through. And frankly, that tells me a lot more about people's responses to a show than just some who clicked on it for a minute and then maybe clicked away, or clicked on it, went and took a phone call. It played on their TV for 15 minutes and then they came back and said, oh, this is bad, turn off. I kind of like it. It's hard to keep track because Obi-Wan's are like 40 something minute episodes. Stranger Things like 115 minute episodes. So it is difficult to kind of gauge how many people really did watch. Granted, but I kind of like this measurement.
But also, I mean, at the end of the day, unless you are going on a YouTube show and talking about the response of fans to a show, if you like it, then great. If other people don't like it, it doesn't matter. So I feel like the metrics shouldn't necessarily matter so much. I mean, there's certainly plenty of shows that we all enjoy that just don't really have a huge fan following. I mean, it is nice to know that like everybody else is watching what you like and that you're not just the weirdo.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you like it, then watch it. If you don't, that's okay too.
But it does really mean so much on two different levels, because on one level, when you get these kind of numbers, we were talking about earlier, it allows the network to create the FOMO. Guys, everybody's watching Stranger Things. Everybody's loving Stranger Things. Now you got to get on board with Stranger Things. And of course, the other one is the obvious ones. It kind of dictates what kind of content gets made later. Because if there's a show I love and nobody watches it, number one, I'm not going to get another season of it. Number two, I'm not going to get other shows like it. So that's why I kind of think these numbers are kind of cool. But again, like what Aaron's saying, really the most important factor, of course, is do you enjoy the show and are you liking what you're watching? All right, what's next?
From Jerome, how do y'all feel about Mike and Eleven's relations?
I'm 2 episodes in, and I don't want you guys to answer that question because I don't want anybody who's like me that hasn't seen a lot to really know too much.
I mean, we can go back to last season of how Mike and Eleven were just like making out all the time.
Which was so cute.
Which like that's what you do in junior high.
You just like go off into the woods and make out.
Yeah. I think it's fine.
It's life. All right,
Yeah.
what's next? I'd never make out with any girl till after junior high. All
Aw.
right, what's next?
Lucky BX. I loved everything with Kenobi episode 3 except for the bring him to me scene. I was like, bro, use the force and bring him to yourself.
We can't
get into it, but that's a great thing.
We can't go
think
into
that's a
that.
funny line.
We can't go into that. All right, what's
Use the
next?
force and bring him.
I do have an answer for that, but obviously can't give it here.
Yeah.
So we'll get
Watch
into
the
that
open
later.
spoiler discussion. Or the after show, rather. Xander. Leia did name her son Ben. Yeah.
Yes, she did. Yep. All
That
right,
is
what's
a
next?
fact.
From Fifi. Love Kenobi, and I would love to like the Inquisitors, but I feel like they got these amazing actors to play the Inquisitors, but then gave them bad scripts. Thoughts? By the way, I love Reva.
Yeah, no, I am. Let's put it this way. I am liking the direction they are going in more in episode 3 than I did before. The scripts are good. The particular dialogue has been a little bit weak. Although I am liking Son's dialogue more too. I like his like fifth brother. I'm liking him more in this episode because now you're starting to get some of the Jim and Dwight like kind of animosity going on there. And I'm kind of digging that. So we'll
I
see where they go.
appreciate
with
that comparison. That's great.
All right, what's next?
From Alan. Hey, John and crew. Working on planning my D23 trip from East Coast to Cali.
Nice.
Also, Disney Plus Day is September 8th. Will all or any of you go to cover any of these events?
I got to wait and see because so far I'm not going to lie to you. Disney Plus Day last year, kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
Especially compared to 2 years ago when they did their Disney Investors Day stream. That was like one of the most incredible
It was fantastic.
online events ever. Like it was like that. We got everything. And it's been a couple of years. We're due for another one of those. But then they did their Disney Plus Day thing. And granted, Disney never said to anybody, oh, this is must watch, guys. Disney Plus Day. We're going to be dropping so many bombs. They never said that. Yeah. I think just people like me who were so ramped up because of what the Disney Investor Day stream was like. We were looking forward to all these huge nuggets being dropped on us. And there were no gold nuggets. It was just kind of, they gave us a little glimpse of this and that. And so we'll see. I'll talk to some people at Disney and find out, hey, look, can we expect to get anything out of this?
Yeah.
So, but D23, I was at the last one and I had a good time. So I may go and cover that one there.
It's fun. I didn't, because my
You didn't get in.
My path didn't work for all the other cool stuff, but just going around was really, really fun, where I just got to talk to other people and see everyone's cosplay and go buy stuff.
Yeah.
And Anaheim's so cute.
Oh, I love
Anaheim.
Anaheim. All right, what's next?
From Al Renshaw. Hey, Chris, Aaron, John, would you rather watch Gotham Knights or Dragon Ball Evolution? I would rather watch Gotham Knights than Dragon Ball Evolution.
Same.
I would definitely watch Dragon Ball Evolution over Gotham Knights. Now, of course, that's an unfair comparison because I've seen Dragon Ball Evolution. Also, Anne's sorority sister is in that. So a friend of Anne, Jamie Chung. Yeah. So one of Anne's friends is in the show, so I'm a little bit biased for that.
Yeah.
But see, I'll always take the devil,
Right? I can
'cause-
make up a drinking game to Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't know what to expect in Gotham Knights.
Yeah.
We can make anything a drinking game.
very
Ask
true.
me that question after we've seen Gotham Knights, and
Yeah.
maybe you'll get a different answer. All right, what's next?
From Kiwi. Just wanted to recommend a miniseries, 000. It's a mix of The Godfather, Sicario, and Breaking Bad.
Sicario.
Sicario, thank you. And Breaking Bad. It's good on
wow.
Amazon Prime.
I've not heard of this. Any of you guys heard of it?
No, but I know that will be something that my husband wants to watch. 000.
All right, put that on our. Thank you for putting that on our radar, man. All right, what's next?
From Andy, Forbes has the best title in response to the Gotham Knights trailer. Bizarre Gotham Knights trailer shows the CW should lose its DC privileges.
Ooh,
Dang.
shots fired.
And that comes from Forbes, and their entire core demographic is the CW market.
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean,
yeah.
I know a couple of guys. I know a couple of the guys over at Forbes. It's like, whoo. I mean, it's. But listen, they are going to be losing their DC privileges. I mean, as
Yeah.
soon as Zaslav and Discovery spin it off of Warner Brothers and sell it off, you're going to see anything that they think is worth keeping will be going on to HBO Max, and then the rest of it will be gone. All right, what's next?
From Jacob, really excited for Lightyear. Would you be interested in seeing a Disney Plus Woody's Roundup puppet series where they complete the final episode cliffhanger?
No. I mean, simple question. No. I mean, I don't think it sounds like a bad idea. I'm just saying, no, I wouldn't be interested in person. But listen, yeah, Lightyear, so stoked. Cannot wait. Very excited. I saw the first 30 minutes of it. Cried, laughed. It's so good. Cannot wait. Looking forward to it. All right, what's next?
From Luke1234, George Carlin quote, "Scratch any cynic and you will find a disappointed idealist. For when anyone says, not my Luke or not my Obi-Wan, remember this."
I mean, look, it's that. Let's not pretend that is an isolated type of thing to just Star Wars stuff. I mean, this is true of any kind of field or area you can look at, and it's true. I mean, there is always that sense of stuff, whether it's in music or movies or TV show, whether it's Star Wars or other things like that too. But yeah, it's a really good quote. Well said, man. All right, what's next?
From Josh Kahn, I have loved season 4 of Stranger Things. With 3 days number being as high as it is, here's my question. Under over 500 million viewing hours next week.
What are they at right now? 200?
Oh, over. Easily. Over.
Oh, by the end of the month? Yes. Within the next 2 weeks? I don't know. By the end of the week, did they say, or the next 2 weeks? What did they say?
By the end of the week. But I'm going to say.
By the end of the week, I don't know, because like you've got your crowd that rushes to do the binge thing as soon as it drops. After that, it becomes a very slow trickle. So it'll get there for sure. By next week, I don't know.
I just feel like the people watching it are creating such a fervor. Like the people who, I mean, it's becoming one of those must-see television things. I mean, I was having lunch with a writer yesterday, and we were talking, and I made a reference to Stranger Things, and he goes, "Please tell me that you've seen it." And I said, "Oh yeah, I started watching it." He goes, "I finished it. It's amazing. It's one of the best." And I said that I was like, I wasn't really looking forward to it. And he goes, "I was so cynical about it. Like, what are they doing?" He goes, "I had no intention of watching it. I threw the first episode on thinking maybe I'd watch the first 20 minutes, and I binged the entire thing in one sitting."
Yeah.
Which is really interesting too, because I think, even though I'm not the biggest Stranger Things fan, I feel like I enjoyed season 3 more than most people did. There was a lot of Stranger Things fans that weren't thrilled with season 3. I actually thought it was pretty good, but to see they all came back You can say you didn't like it all you wanted. You came back.
Yep.
That's all they care about. All right, what's next?
From Sam Fisher, what Thrawn book should I read? Like, what's the name of the book where he finds out Vader is Anakin? Same question with Tarkin.
I believe, okay, so there's the original Thrawn books, which are not canon. But the original Thrawn books is a trilogy of books. They basically call it the Heir to the Empire series, or the Grand Admiral Thrawn series, but Heir to the Empire, right? So that's the original Thrawn books. That's where Grand Admiral Thrawn was first introduced back in the 80s. And they're terrific books, but again, not canon. They then plucked that character out and brought him into canon and kind of reset him a little bit. And there are 3 Thrawn novels that they've done so far. One is called Allegiance. Let me just see, hold a second. Thrawn novels. Let me see if I can get the names of them here. Let's see. Maybe if I spelt it correctly, because I put Throw novels. Thrawn novels. There we go.
Those books that you burn.
The books that you
Throw it in a fire.
Let's see. So we've got the Thrawn trilogy series. There is Star Wars. One is just called Thrawn. The first one is just called Thrawn. The next one is called, let me see if I can bring it up here. Sorry for the delay. This is awkward silence. Okay. So the first one is Thrawn. The second one is, what's it called? One is called Allegiance, I think, is the name of one of them. And I cannot get these pictures to get any bigger. Yeah, no, sorry. Thrawn Alliances, and then Thrawn Treason. Those are the name of the 3 books. I believe the Thrawn Alliances is the one with Vader. And where it's an interesting, it's a current time and flashback story where the Emperor tasks Vader and Thrawn with doing something, right? But while they're going through it, the story also flashes back to when a younger Thrawn had to work with General Anakin Skywalker of the Jedi. And this is a thing in these books, which are supposed to be canon. Thrawn has figured out that Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker. And it nearly costs him his life because he knows it, which is why the whole thing in the Obi-Wan show is so weird. But anyway, the 3 books are really quite good. But again, I would say go back to the non-canon thing and watch read the Heir to the Empire series. It's really great. All right, what's next?
From Keenan, oh my God, Stranger Things. All I have to say is number 1. Oh, nope, we're moving on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Elizabeth Harado. Will we be getting a season review of Stranger Things season 4?
I honestly don't know. It's difficult to review Netflix series because, like, F you, I'm not going to be strong-armed. Not you, Elizabeth, F you. I mean, F you, Netflix. I'm not going to be strong-armed and having to watch 10 hours of something and within 48 hours so I can review it while it's relevant. So I don't know. I mean, it really depends on when I'm able to finish watching it. But again, that's once Netflix gets going to what they're inevitably going to do, doing a week-by-week thing. But until then, it's kind of pointless to try to review a Netflix series.
Call me and I will review the entire season.
All right, what's next?
From Zashawn, Netflix will stop greenlighting expensive vanity projects such as The Irishman. Well, it was nice while it lasted. More action films, I guess.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. A buddy of mine one of our business partners sent me this really interesting story. I think it was in Variety that basically says Netflix is going to adopt a new strategy. Do more with less is basically it. They're going to try to go bigger films, better films, fewer films. Mm-hmm. That's what they're going to do. And you know what? To a guy who is a huge fan of Netflix television series, but has been a big critic of Netflix's movies because they suck ass. They're the worst movie studio in the world. Their success rate is so infinitely small. It's insane. Because yeah, there's a good Irishman every once in a while, but there's 20 pieces of crap for every one decent thing they put out. I've been a big critic of them as far as their movies go. To hear them say, we're going to go bigger with our movies, we want to focus on better movies, and we're going to make fewer of them. To me, it's like, bravo. Yeah. Like, yes, that's exactly what you need to do. Focus your resources, your time, and your creativity on making better stuff, not making sure, well, we've got to make sure we have 8 original movies put out every single month. Mm-hmm. That's how you get bullshit. And for them to do this, like whether they'll be successful or not, we'll wait and see. But I absolutely think this is the right thing for them to do right now. So bravo to them for that. All right, what's next?
From Joseph, woke up randomly at 4 a.m. Eastern time, so I watched Obi-Wan. I thought it was pretty good. Need to rewatch now that I'm more awake, though.
Yeah, that's always the thing. I I once, when they first started Mandalorian, I thought, well, maybe I'll just watch those shows in the morning instead of at midnight. That doesn't work. I got to do the midnight screenings of them. So yes, it's probably good to rewatch.
I wake up like a Disney princess. Birds come and greet me, and if Logan wakes me up at midnight to watch a show, I usually, because they're like, let's try that, let's see if that works. I will just be like, get away from me.
Because didn't you do that? Wouldn't you like go to bed? Oh God.
She goes to bed at 6 p.m.
I go to bed at 9:30 at night because I'm an old lady.
I tried to
and then
text
I wake
her
up at
one night
5
at
a.m.
10 p.m. and she never responded. And then the next morning at like 7 a.m. she was like, sorry, I was asleep.
I was sleeping.
Like, I wish that I
sleeping.
could go to bed at
No,
9 p.m.
well, because I used to, like we were talking about off air, I used to have to stay up all night and watch an entire season of something,
Yeah.
and then go film something at 7 a.m., which would be fraught with errors because I had dumb sleep brain and had eaten ramen noodles and was just like, I don't know what's happening. I'm trying to stay alive.
See, that's back in the AMC days when we were trying to review Netflix stuff. I remember, I think it was Iron Fist. It's like it was getting drops. It's like, okay. And I stayed up all night. I was at the AMC office all night. The sun was coming up when I was finishing it off, and we reviewed it. And I just remember thinking, I am never doing that again. Like, I am never doing that again.
Oh, it's awful.
Not to mention, it was Iron Fist.
It was Iron Fist. That's a real bad one to do it for.
All right, what's next?
We're going to skip the next one.
Yeah.
Jonathan, we're going to skip
I'm
the
already
next
on
one.
next one.
Okay.
Okay, great. Sam Fisher. Joe Quesada just left Marvel Comics. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Peter and MJ can once again be wed.
I don't follow the comic story of what's going, like, not over the past 7 or 8 years, what's going on there, so I have no idea.
Let's be clear. Joe Quesada is not the only person at Marvel who's gone, hey, marriage ages Peter Parker, and we don't like that for him. That's why they killed Gwen Stacy, y'all. They were like, he can't get married. He's a boy. But that's how the relationship was going to progress. She was too perfect. And they're like, well, I guess we got to murder her. So, I mean,
But at least they did a good job murdering her. Like,
They
she
did
had
a great-
memorable,
they murdered the
great
heck
death.
out of her.
Yes, they did.
Aw.
All right, what's next?
From Jedediah, the menu so looks like my thing, especially after watching Fresh on Hulu in March. Searchlight Pictures has been killing it lately.
You know, that's the Sebastian Stan thing,
Yes.
right? I totally forgot to watch that.
I know, I need
and
to
I've
watch
heard
it.
nothing but great things about it.
Oh, speaking of Sebastian Stan,
Mm-hmm.
I saw him on Larchmont Boulevard yesterday. I was just like, that's Sebastian Stan. There you are. One of the crazy things about living in Los Angeles.
Oh,
All over the
But I
place.
didn't see his movie.
All right, what's next?
Just saw him in Larchmont.
From Chuck J. Hi, guys. Just wanted to let you know that you and actually, Joey, you had actually just echoed someone in the crowd. I was present during all that. Oh, okay.
Oh.
I
really? Okay.
watched and listened to it. I didn't hear that at all. And why repeat it?
Yeah, that would be-
especially
that
as
would
your
be a
final
weird
thing that
thing.
you're seeing on the stage. Oh, whatever. All right, what's next?
The one below is a spoiler.
Okay.
So we'll just
Stubble
go
McShave is a
stubble.
spoiler?
No.
Oh, okay. Stubble McShave. I'm impressed by Vivian Lara Blair in Kenobi. Those not liking her, pause before you push upload or tweet and remember how it affected Jake Lloyd.
Well, look,
Yeah.
there is a difference, and we talked about this yesterday. Was Jake Lloyd good in the Star Wars prequels? No, he wasn't. Does that mean people should target a child? Say, you suck! You ruined Star Wars! You fucking pathetic losers.
Yeah.
No, no. And look, but there's nothing wrong saying, hey, like I'll say it a lot of times, I'm not particularly fond of child actors. It's very rare that they don't take me out of a scene or take me out of something. Like, it's very rare. So if you watch this Leia character and it didn't work for you, there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not a fan of the performance of the child actor.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. But there's a difference between, you know what, not a fan of that performance. There's a difference between that and saying, that fucking stupid kid.
Yeah.
That blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, you're just a loser.
Right.
So, I mean, so there is a fundamental difference between the two.
And we saw this with yesterday's topic too. A whole bunch of people in the chat also were like, well, just block people who send you stuff like that. Okay, well, then you're blocking something that you had to read and see and take into your soul. And yeah, you can brush everything off, right? But if you were getting just inundated with hate mail for just trying to go do your job,
Now,
that's
hopefully,
messed up.
her parents do not allow this child to have a Twitter
Absolutely.
account
Yeah.
now. But
Right.
still, again, you are allowed to not like a performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're allowed, but there's a difference between not liking a performance, having some constructive criticism for it, and what we see online today with a bunch of basement dwelling cousin humpers. It's totally separate things. So anyway, there's that. What's next?
From Dragonton. Love you guys. Any chance of a Stranger Things after show? Also, Aaron, do you have any technique advice for actors?
Zero chance of a Stranger Things after show because, again, Netflix does it the idiot way and dropping all the episodes at once. So it's actually impossible to do an after show for it. But anyway, any like one quick tip that you would give an actor?
Know your lines. Just always know your lines. Empty the dishwasher while saying your lines. Even if you think that you know your lines, say them while doing something, because the second that you get on set and the adrenaline starts going and you actually start moving while you're saying your lines, there's a really good chance that all of your dialogue is going to fart right out of your head. And then once you get caught in that loop, your mind goes boop, 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 boop. So, I would just say, just know your lines ad nauseum to the point where they are part of your cellular construction, and then you can just have fun and play.
All right, what's next?
From Wayne Denny. With Top Gun having a 150 million 4-day weekend, what's the over-under on dropping 60% this coming weekend?
I'd say it's a pretty good chance. When you have movies that open, it's very rare. Well, first of all, it's basically rare that a movie has less than a 50% drop. That's a rare thing. It's super rare to have less than a 50 or 60% drop when you have a massive opening weekend. Like Endgame, I think, had like a 70 something percent drop from weekend one to weekend two, because everybody went to go see it. The one thing I will say though, is that Top Gun is going to have, and does have, crazy word of mouth. So I'd say it's a 55% chance that it has more than a 60% drop, just again, because the opening weekend was so big.
Yeah.
And also let's also look at the fact that, as we were talking about last week, Tom Cruise films historically have not made a huge amount in the opening weekend, but have had longevity and have overall made a lot of money. And so we know historically that is something that Tom Cruise really, pushes for. And one of the things that Top Gun has for it is massive military interest. So don't underestimate the members of the armed services who are going to want to watch this movie, because it's a movie about the Navy.
What's the Bradley Cooper one, American Sniper?
American Sniper?
Yeah, I mean, look at the legs that thing had.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Some support from Ebony, so thank you so
Ebony.
much. Collins E. Johnny Depp verdict comes today. After today, we never have to talk about the subject again.
Thank
right?
God.
Right?
Maybe, hope so, although I don't know that it officially comes in today.
It's supposed to be at 3 p.m. today.
Oh, okay, well, there we go. And then thankfully, this whole thing can be done.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
From Glenn Mark. Advanced voice one down. By golly, though, don't let Chris get mad at you. Gave my wrist such a wrapping. She had a lightsaber. Saber. She'd make like Reva and take my hand right off. Advice heated, talk slower. So Glenn's in my class.
I was going to say, what is all this gobbledygook that I don't understand?
Glenn's in my advanced voiceover class, and his first take of something, I was like, Glenn, you need to be slower. You are making so many good choices, and you are taking away from your take, and it is not great. You are doing a disservice to yourself. And he's like, well, Chris, that's what I did on take 2. And I was like, oh, okay, well, let's listen to take 2.
What's next?
From Sebastian Gonzalez. Saw Top Gun Maverick with my dad and uncle, and it was amazing.
It's so good. I'm so glad you went to go see it. And if you haven't, you got to get out. It's a terrific experience at the movies. All right, what's next?
From Al Renshaw. Seems obvious that we'll get another Jedi to come in and help Obi-Wan. He clearly is no match for Vader. Maybe Cal, or preferably Mace Windu?
Well, again, we can't go into details about what or when. But listen, I said before the show even started, I think there's a possibility Cal shows up in this show. I have no insider information. That's just me throwing some speculation out there.
Well, that Rupert Friend quote seemed like there's going to be a video game character.
Yeah, I mean, so who knows? We'll wait and see. All right, what's next?
From Jay, part 2, Wes Craven, that maybe he provided some pointers for the showrunner.
I don't think we got the part 1
I
to that.
don't think I saw part 1.
Is that in reference to Stranger Things having a part 2?
I'm not really sure. All right, sorry about that, Jay. Not really quite sure what we're talking about there. All right, what's next?
Jedediah again. Now I know why MeUndies and Manscaped sponsor John so often. Because he has the balls to call out Star Wars fans on their racist behavior.
Well, no, look, even one of the big points I wanted to make yesterday, there were a couple of big points. Big point number 1, you can have criticism about something without being an asshole about it. I didn't like Moses Ingram's performance in the first two. I didn't like it either. But I wasn't an asshole about it. So you can have criticism and not like something without being an asshole about it. Main point number two. And look, I'm just going to say, you guys saw what I said yesterday morning, right? Yesterday morning, before anything else came out, I said, sometime today, you're going to see people coming out and saying, Disney is saying anybody who doesn't like Obi-Wan are racist. I said, you're going to see people say that today. And that is exactly not what happened. They simply said, hey guys, don't choose to be racist. Who in here doesn't like that statement? Everybody can say that statement, but I told you there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to try to change the topic. They're going to try to misdirect you and make it about something else. And sure enough, after that, I saw my YouTube feed flooded with all these videos. Disney's saying that if you don't like this thing, you're racist. Like, no, you got to be a special kind of stupid to believe that, because anybody with the slightest bit of common sense knows that if you were like me and you didn't like the performance, had nothing, Disney wasn't talking to me, and even the smallest scrape of intelligence, which is barely what I've got, that's all you need to know to be able to fully understand that. But that works against certain people's agendas. So they try to change the topic. They try to misdirect you. And we saw that all over the place on YouTube yesterday. So there's that. But the third point I was trying to make is that those assholes are a very small minority. Like most of the people out there who didn't like Moses Ingram's performance as third sister in the first couple of episodes of Obi-Wan, most of them were just legitimately, that just performance didn't work for me. Most Star Wars fans are not, the jerks that we were talking about. The people that represented, the people that were sending Moses Ingram's these hateful, idiotic, bottom feeder, loser things that they were saying to them, they represent a very small minority. Most people out there who maybe didn't like her performance just didn't like it because they didn't like it. And there was nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I mean, what we're really doing is just calling out a small percentage, because I think they do represent a very small percentage. Yeah. That's just me.
They just happen to be loud.
Yeah, they just scream a lot. Yeah. I mean, they're like, your baby in the middle of the night. They're like, that's what they want. By the way,
Tommy has much more emotional
That's
intelligence.
perfect. The child doesn't cry, scream.
All right, what's next?
Blake 62. Rocky 4 has long been the objective best movie ever. After seeing Top Gun Maverick, I have to rethink some things.
By the way, Rocky 4 is my favorite Rocky movie. The one with Ivan Drago. Although I really like 6 too. Like Rocky Balboa was fantastic. But Rocky 4 is also my favorite. All right, what's next?
From Fifi, John, you going to play Jedi Survivor?
Yeah, I'm going to give that a shot. Although I have no idea what a release date on it is. They just dropped the first trailer for it, but I'll definitely give it a shot. All right, what's next?
From Mr. 47, some support. Thank you,
Mr.
Cyan 10101. I love Top Gun, but I had to get Taco Bell after because the gong kept making me think of the Taco Bell commercial.
You are not wrong. You are not wrong.
Cyan,
They brought back the Mexican pizza, so we should all make a run for the border after seeing. And they should do a cross-promotional thing.
And there was a lot of gong in that movie.
There was.
They knew that music hit brings back nostalgia, so they did it a lot in that movie, and it worked every time.
It was like Pavlov's dog.
Yep. All right, what's next?
From Brady Fisher, Ralph Fiennes should have won his Oscar for Schindler's List, one of the most terrifying performances in film history.
I mean, Ralph Fiennes, like I said, you could make an argument he could have 3 of them on his mantle right now. But hey, it's a very, very tough thing to win an Oscar, because not only do you have to turn in the performance of a lifetime, you got to hope somebody else that year didn't happen to do one a little bit better. And that's completely outside of control. Can't play defense in an Oscar race. That's the fun thing about that.
Well, you also can't have a name that no one knows how to pronounce. If it's spelled Ralph, why is it Ray?
Yeah, I know.
They need to know how to pronounce it when they call your name out. That's why he's not getting his Oscar.
Yep. It's like nobody wants this thing. Nobody wants to accidentally mispronounce his name.
There's an L in that name, damn it.
They don't want Adele Dazeem.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adele Dazeem.
They don't want to have another one of those moments. Yes, and just so you know, it is pronounced Rafe. I don't know. It's like there was a famous Montreal Canadian goaltender by the name of Patrick Waugh, one of the greatest goaltenders of all time. I hated him because he was on the Canadians, but Patrick Waugh, but it's spelled R-O-Y. And I still remember my uncle saying, "You can't fool me. Your name's Roy. You're just trying to sound fancy." But
that's
no,
like his brother.
Waugh.
It should be Joseph Fiennes, but it's Johe Fiennes.
Yeah.
Is it?
No,
Oh, okay. Oh my God. I've always called him Joseph Fiennes.
In John Travolta's defense, though, he's had his face swapped off before. It's hard for him to enunciate.
That's true. He's
That's
probably
tricky.
still under anesthesia.
All right, guys, with all that down, that'll do it for today's episode of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here and making this show part of your day. Big special thank you to all of you guys who sent in those super chats. Number one, because you gave us great fun things to talk about. But number two, you supported this channel as you did it. And all of us involved with the John Campea Show, thank you guys so very much for your support. Don't forget, at 4 p.m. today, we are going to be doing our Obi-Wan Episode 3 after show. That is 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you guys come back and join us for that. And, of course, come back and join us for the next episode of the John Campea Show tomorrow. For everybody who's sitting in the room here, Aaron Cummings, Chris Carr, Ray Ora, producer Jonathan back there, my name's John Campea. Thanks a lot for being here, guys. And until next time, my friends, gong.